Hello. Okay. In this first video, we'll be doing an introduction to Excel. Uh, I'll be showing you guys, I'll be telling you guys what everything in Excel is, what you see right now is. So, for example, this is called a ribbon. This whole part from paste, X, from paste, cut, copy, format, painter, which is part of a clipboard, and your font part, your alignment part, your number part, your style parts, cells, editing, and data analysis, to all the other tabs, which is insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, help, and team. In home, you have your fonts and all of that. So let's just start here at home. In Excel, we have this thing which is called a sheet, which is this whole part you have. And the sheet has columns, which is this part. This is a column, this is a column, and this is a column. And we also have rows, which is this one. This is a row, this is a row, and that is a row. So everything is structured inside a row and a column, and a row and a column is usually a letter and the number, which is the column and the number of the row. So if you are in B2, in B1, if you are in this column, which is in this cell, which is the first B column, it's going to be called B1. If you are in A1, it's going to be written A1. There in the corner, it's going to say A1. Okay, let's continue. Let's say hello. You can either write words or numbers on either the rows, on either cells. You see, when you're in this cell, it will highlight that you are here. You see, it highlights that I'm in B1. It highlights that I'm in C1. So let's say you want to write hello world. You write the hello maybe in A1, and you write world in B1, and you write numbers from 1, 2, and 3 on your first column of hello. Then it will start from the second row on the first column, which is second row of A, and you write maybe something random, like maybe 5, 10, and 15. And though that data will be in the columns, will be in the column of B on the rows 1, on the rows 2, 3, and 4. And this, guys, is what you call a table, because it has what? It has a column, a row, it has column, rows, and data inside the rows. So let's change it to something more practical. So let's say we have our number of people. Let's just say index. Just say index. Most of the time, the first is called index, and then the second one, let's say our price. Let's just say random thing. So our price here, and this here will be quantity, and here it should say the total. Change that. That's the total. Now let's put in random quantities. Say we have 9, we have 5, we have 15. Okay, let's just say 20. 9, 5, and 20. Now, in Excel, we have things which are called formulas, which are known, which are used to calculate something. So usually a normal table will be structured like this. It have maybe your index, maybe your price, maybe your quantity, and maybe your total. Now let's just leave our table like that. We have our own table here, and now we have the first table on our sheet. So this is a sheet. We can either insert another sheet, hide the sheet, change the tab color of our sheet, or even delete the sheet or rename the sheet. For now, let's just rename our sheet. Let's say first sheet. That's our first sheet. And we add another sheet. We say chart. That will be relevant as time goes. Let's just say chart. And let's just say here, that's enough. We have only 1 and 2 sheets. See, when you create another sheet, it will be empty because it doesn't contain any data. The data from this sheet is only available in this first sheet, and the data on the chart sheet, there is nothing because we didn't insert data on the sheet. So in our sheet we can change our tab color. Maybe we want the tab color to be yellow, green, greener. Oh, that was lime. We have lime, green, blue, any color you'd like. And even if you don't see the color you want, you can just say more colors, and then select from the colors which are here, or add a custom color just by dragging this, or dragging this, and you get your color, and then say okay. And now we have our new color there. When we change our tab colors, it will be on the recent colors. You see, it's not whitish, it's some color we made. Okay, since we're done with that, now on the tabs, as you see, we have font. We want to change this font maybe to another font. To say we just click the down arrow, the drop down, and select any font we like. Let's say I'm selecting Cambria. I like Cambria. Select Cambria. You see now it only changed this one. These ones are still the same. That one is still the same. That one is still the same. So if you want to change all of them into the same font, it's either you Control, Shift, and the right arrow of your arrow keys, and it will select up to where the data ends, and you're done. And you just change your color to Cambria. Where's my Cambria now? Cambria. Now you have Cambria now. Okay, seems easy enough. And also, if you want to change the font size, click Control, Shift, and right again, and then change from 11, 12, 15, 20, but it's not visible enough. That we can change to, but we'll learn as we go. See, so let's just select 12 is okay. So for the purpose of changing. Now we can select the bold, italic, underlined, and borders, which is a wide selection. Can have bottom border, top border, left border, right border, no borders at all. If your table already has borders, you can select the no borders to deselect all the borders. To remove all the borders, and you say all borders, outside border only, and then thick outside border. As you see, you can see them all. You can select any border you want. So I'm gonna say, let's just say outside border. Now you see my data only has outside borders, but it's not as visible because of what we selected. So we can't see it, and we don't want the bold. So let's just increase the pixels of that border. To increase the pixels of that border, you go to more borders, and you'd see the first. Okay, you see those borders and how they should be styled and how you want them to be styled. For example, now it's not selected on which border we want. We select that thick one and we say OK, and we have a thicker border outside. Okay, that's fine. Now I want to change the color of that. The fill color we can change, which is the whole cell, which we can change the whole cell to maybe any color we want. It to be blue, it to be green, any color we want. So let's just choose, I like gray. Green looked good. Let's just choose green. Now I want to change the font color. We can change our font color to maybe red, yellow, orange, yellow, green. Doesn't look well. So let's just stick with the black one because it looks more visible. Because you have to be able to read the data. Now we are done with the font part, which is the font area of the ribbon. We want our text inside our cells to be aligned in a certain way. So we can align them up, align them center, align them down, and then we can just center the text inside the cell. You see, it moved from being on the side, which was this one, being on the side, to the center or to the right side. So I like the center side. Or you can make it a changed orientation, which you select your own. It could be clockwise, anti-clockwise, vertical, rotated up, rotated down. You can see clockwise, you don't see much of the text. Anti-clockwise, still don't see much of the text. Vertical, you see the text, but it's orientated vertically. Rotated up, it's basically you change the way the text is written, and so on and so on. For now, I just want my text to be normal. See, we just selected that part. Now we can increase indentation. Indentation is the space before the text or the space after the text. So increase the indentation. It doesn't do much. It goes, that's the space before the text, which is the left side here. and this one is the right side. So we increase the space after the text. Still doesn't do much when you increase the space after the text, and that's because it's on our left side, on our first side, which is the A. Because if it was around these sides, around F, G, H, I, it would have moved to the side. Like, for example, when this one moves to overlay on the other cell, this one didn't move to the other cell, it just disappeared into that cell. So just, yeah. Okay. Now, our text sometimes is long, very long. We have to wrap that text when it's long. You see, when it wraps the text, it fits within the cell. It must fit within the cell, including its space. So this one, quantity, did fit inside the cell, but it had a little bit part which was over the cell. So it made that part, okay, because I want that space. It says, okay, I'm gonna wrap it so you can see it clearly. But it looks weird for us. So let's keep it unwrapped. And you can also match and center the cells. When you match and center those cells, it will be one cell, but it can't keep. It says merge cells only keeps the upper left value and discards of all the other ones. So it will keep only index and will discard the other cells, which is price, quantity, and total. So if I say OK, it just keeps index. Let's just say Control Z, which is used to undo, and you can go up here to undo, and it will give you a shortcut, which is Control Z, and to redo, which is Control Y. You can see Control Y redos, Control Z undoes. And the merge, you can merge across, merge the whole cell, only the cell, and unmerge your cells, which is generally to separate one cell into two cells if the cells are already meshed. Now, on the numbers part, we have our numbers here. We can either select the numbers here to change, because we want it to be currency. I'm in South Africa, so it will use rands, but if you are in the US, if you are in China, if you are anywhere else in the world, it will use that specific currency you use. So currency and account are quite a bit different, but I'll tell you right as we go. And we can change that into date, a long date, which will write from the day to the month and to the year. You can change it to time, you can change it to percent, a fraction, and a scientific notation. But for now, we want it to be in currency. You can select currency. But now, it only did the first B2 cell. So we want it to do all the cells. So we're gonna say Control Shift and then down. So we can select all of them and go to our tab again, drop down box, and we select currency again. See, we changed our B column into a price tab now, a price column. We have price only here, and it's quantity here, and quantity here. Oh no! Sorry. This is to select the currency you use in your country. To change currency would be to South African Rand or English English United States dollar. Now, as I said before, it will show only the ones in your country which are relevant. If you're in China, it will show the yen. If you're anywhere around the world, it will use that currency. If you're in Europe, maybe we'll use the euros or the pounds, anything, any currency which you're using. Now, it still seems a little bit too much, so we can use our decimal decreaser or decimal increaser. This is a decreaser and this is an increaser. So when we want to decrease the decimals, the number of decimals, and we'll decrease the number of decimals after the comma, and we'll also decrease the last one and leaving it into a single 5 rand. But it only did it to the first B2 cell. So we want it on all the B column. So we should say Control Shift down and decrease. Oh, since we already did it on this one, we can just say Control Z, so it will do at once. See, now we have a whole number without the decimal at the end. We know there's a decimal there, but we don't want it to show. Okay, and our quantity, we don't do nothing. Let's do a simple formula. So I can show you how these things work, the cell styles and all that. Let's do a formula. When you do a formula, you always have to start with an equal sign. You see, it gives us a suggestion of the function we can use. There's a bunch of functions we can use, which is sum, average, if, and hyperlink, adding a hyperlink here, count, max, sin, sum if, and all of the other formulas, but we'll get into them as we go. So let's just use a simple formula that says sum. So sum, when we open our brackets, and after we open our brackets, we'll select the price, multiply it. When you multiply, you use the star, which is star, and we multiply by a quantity, so we can get what? We can get the total, and we close. So closed, we hit enter. And so close the brackets, we hit enter. Your formula should look like this. It's going to be equal sum, open bracket, B2 multiplied, which is star, by C2, close bracket, and then you hit enter. And it will give you what? A price, because we're calculating what? The total price of our items. We don't have items yet, but we're giving you a total price of our items. Okay, now we can do that for the other ones as follows too. Sum, open bracket, B3, star, C3, close brackets, enter. And also equals to sum, open bracket, B4, star, C4, close bracket, enter. Now we have our full data now, with our totals, with our quantity, and with our price. Now let's change our index. Maybe let's say it's fruits. Let's say these are fruits. The first fruit will be a watermelon. Watermelon. And the second fruit would be a mango. A third fruit will be, let's say, it's a fruit that can be this expensive. Let's say, a pineapple. Pineapple. Now, as you see, our fruits don't fully show up, and it's the watermelon part. It doesn't fully show up. So in our sheet, we can increase each column, or we can increase each row. So here we can just say between the A and B column, when you go close, you'll see the change of your cursor. And when you change that change of your cursor, it denotes that you can hold, you can click to increase or decrease. So click, you see it shows us the width of our column, and we can increase by sliding our mouse cursor to the right, and then the whole watermelon name shows up. Easy. Now you can see it's aligned to the left a bit. We want it to align to be in the center. So as before, Control Shift down and center. Now all your fruits are aligned center. Okay, it's nice. It's convenient. Now in conditional formatting, you have a bunch of styles. And conditional formatting is so you can view the data a bit better. You can have data bars. You can have gradient fill data bars. You can have solid fill data bars. You can have color scales. You can have iconography. There's a lot of rules which you can set. So let's do our rules on our total column. So we say Control Shift down, and then you say conditional formatting. You see it shows, okay, this is the most expensive one, the pineapple. You see it shows in a bit more visual. It gives you a better visual of what your data looks like. On a color scale, it would be like red, white, green, red, white. See all those things. Looks like a flag of some kind. In the World Cup spirit, we have France here. Okay, never mind that. Okay, let's just do color scales because I like it. It looks really good. So let's do. Nah, Italy's already out. Mexico, I don't like it. Let's go with France. It looks like France because of our rule which was selected there. Can have quick analysis and have all our chats. Then we can. Okay, let's do that a little bit later. Now we formatted our column, the D color, which is the total color, to be in a certain way, the cells to look in a certain way. But you can also format the whole table, which is this one. Select your whole table or highlight your whole table by clicking and dragging to the last part from A1 up to D4. That's a whole table. Or you can just say like this: Control Shift down and left, and you select it all. And you can go to format as a table. When you format as a table, you have to keep in mind you have those conditional formattings. So usually it doesn't want to do anything, but let's check. I see it keeps those conditional formattings because knows that they are important for your data. So let's just say Control Z, looks bad. It will keep those conditional formattings because it knows that they are important for your data. So we can change our table style to look like this. It will want to know where are the headers on my table, which is from A1, which is that $A, $1, colon, then $D, $4. On my table, we want to know my table has headers or not. If I say it doesn't have headers, it will just format it like that and add its own headers, which I don't want that. But if I say yes, it already has headers. You see, if I select already it has headers, it will format the first part, which is the first row, which is first row. It will format it as the header. But I don't want it to look like that because it has those drop down arrows, which I don't like. Which they are a need for your data. When you go through your data, sometimes you will need them because you can either filter your data. You want to show only the main, and it will only show the main. It filters out your data, but I wanted to show all of them, all of my data, and it will show all of my data. Okay, so it's easy enough, and you can filter here by filter and sort by smallest to largest, or largest to smallest, or sort by color, which can be customized. Let's just check the largest to smallest. Now you see our pineapple has changed to be the top, to be at the top now, because it's the most expensive. And from smallest to largest, it will go back to be watermelon at the top because it was the less pricey one. Let's deselect this. It stays the same because it was like this. After that, clear filters. Okay, now that we have our table, let's just remove the table fill format. Now you can change each and every style of your cell. A single cell can be maybe bad on the bad cell, or maybe a warning text, maybe an explanatory tab, or an input tab, a linked cell tab. That is for you who is reading the data to know, okay, in this cell, in these cells, there is explanatory, and how will I denote that? By using this formatting of the cell style. You can even change the headings. These ones are used for headings. These ones are used for headings, titles, and the totals. You can change the theme. May have 40% accent 2, which is light orange, 40% accent 3, which is light gray, so on, so on. But we don't want that. We're just back to normal. You can either insert another cell. When you insert another cell, it will be shifting the cells down, shifting the cells right, shifting the cells down, shifting the whole entire row or the column. Let's see if we shift the cell down. Now it adds only a cell here on the top. Control Z and set cell, entire column. It will add an entire column next to the one we have, and so on, so on. And you can also delete those cells using like that. For example, let's insert an entire column. Set entire column. And delete sheet column. And then the column is gone. Finito. And you can format that a certain cell should be hidden. Like for example, I want this one. Certain rows to be hidden. For example, I don't want to see the rows, but I want them to be in my data. So let's hide this first row. Now the watermelon is gone. See, we hid the first row. Show that, and we can format it to increase the row height, increase the column width, which we're able to do by selecting either between the letters of the columns or between the numbers of the rows. We can do that, and here you can clear all formatting, and so you can clear maybe just formatting, clear all, clear format, clear just contents, and keep the format. Clear the comments. They usually have, some other cells usually have comments. You can put comments or notes on the other cells, or clear the hyperlink. Let's see if we clear the format. It doesn't do anything, but let's see if it clear the format on the D2 cell. It will remove that formatting, and as the rule says, the smallest will be red, so it should go, it will go to the 50 because it denotes that now as the smallest. See, smallest is red, the middle one is white, and the largest is blue. Okay, seems easy enough. Now we have this here called ultrasound. See, it's to have your formulas quickly to you, or maybe not quickly, because you can just say equals and just know the formula. For example, you say equals, and if you want to sum, you just say S, and maybe just search here. Oh shit, I can't find some. Oh wow, I can't find some. Okay, let's just say U. Oh yeah, that is some. That is some. Those are all your formulas. You can get them there, or you can get them on the AutoSum column, which is here. Now, since I didn't select any data, it will not do anything. Okay, nothing. Okay, this is the filter to sort and organize your data. And this is a file to find anything in the sheet. For example, I want to find mango. It will highlight the cell which has mango. And if you have a big sheet with about 100 cells and you want to find a certain item, or you want to replace a certain item, you go to find, and we go to replace. On that find part, you want to replace what? Mango. And you want to replace it with what? Say dragon fruit. Okay, dragon fruit is going to be too big. Say avocado. So replace. Now it's avocado. No, it's avocado. Change here. Avocado to mango again, and replace, and then it's changed into a mango. Close. Okay, it's done. We're done with the first part of our introduction. See you next time. Please like, subscribe, share, just Do everything to make it real, people. Do everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.